welcome back. In this week's episode, we experience life on a ranch, hike in the mountains, swim in a freshwater oasis, and experience the untouched beauty of the Sierra de la Laguna and Baja California Sur. So we have finally left Cerritos. Not that that's a bad thing. We ended up staying there for 12 days in total, and we did 5 days of surfing while we were there.
So we're currently on our way to the Santiago region, which is a little bit inland on the Cape area. It basically seems like we should be able to do some hiking. We've basically spent the last 2 weeks getting a lot of sun, so it'll be good to kind of step away from the ocean for a little bit and do a couple different activities. So Santiago, here we come. So we have about a 10-kilometer or 10-mile drive on dirt/gravel to get to the ranch that we're staying at tonight. I think we're going to stay there for 2 nights, check it out, and then we'll decide if we're going to stay longer. And it's just really lush in this region. It'll be a lot different feeling than anywhere else we've been in Baja so far, because we've been spending a lot of time on the coast.
So Wiley's just airing down our tires to like 25 psi because this road is a little bit washboardy and it'll give us a little bit more comfy ride to get out there. I originally thought it was only like 10 miles or 10 kilometers, but it's actually 20 to get out there. So it'll take us about a half hour, 40 minutes to get out there. So why not enjoy the ride a little bit more and not be so bumpy?
So we're still heading out to San Dionisio, where the ranch is at the end of the road, and there's a bunch of ranches along the way. So we've been going through this mountainous region. It's really green, really lush, and down in the valley you can see the fresh water. There's supposed to be pools and waterfalls in the area. I don't know how much we're going to see from where we're staying, but the cool thing is all the families along this road are ranchers. So they have their cattle, their chicken, they have fruit trees, and they're growing their own veggies. So it's pretty interesting, and I'm hoping that we'll learn a little bit about how, life is in this area by staying here for a couple days.
Yeah, pull straight in, back in, and I'll show you around before it gets dark.
Perfect.
Sounds good. So we just stumbled on a little piece of nothing short of amazing here. We are on a ranch that is at the end of a road that's like 25-30 kilometers into the mountains, next to a river, in the middle of a preserve, where the owners have tons of stuff going on. They have hiking trails and running trails in the area. There's of course the river right there that you can explore. They're growing their own citrus. We've got a lot to check out, so I'm not even going to keep talking. We're going to show you tomorrow, because it's getting dark now, we just got here, all the cool stuff that's going on. So we will catch you then. So not sure if you can hear this, but up in this tree, it is budding, and you can actually hear the honeybees buzzing around, and it's quite a hum.
So the tree behind me is called a ceiba tree, and the day we came in, we were lucky enough to see that it was starting to blossom, and it is teemed with bees, orioles, hummingbirds, and like so many different birds and insects are feeding on this tree right now. So it's just like an abundance of life off of this one tree. But the cool thing about the ceiba tree, it's sacred to the Mayans, and it basically, they say that the tree connects you from the underworld, earth, into the heavens. So you usually see these trees near cemeteries for the Mayans.
So some interesting stuff here. We're walking through the citrus grove, if we want to call it that. This used to be an old citrus crop, if you will, but when the new owners bought it, it had been abandoned for a large number of years. So when they came in and cleared everything back out, they were only able to save about 40 of the trees or so. So the new owners told me that when they moved in and took it over and started taking care of the property, they've planted 360 trees so far. So in a couple of years, this place is going to be thriving.
So another really cool thing about staying at this ranch is they let you use their vegetable garden, and there's also citrus trees and avocado trees, and they pick oranges and limes in the morning and grapefruit, and you can make juice out of it.
They've got fresh coffee going every morning for all the people who are staying here, and they use the local method to do it just because there's a lack of electricity in the area. He's got a solar setup but chooses not to use it for that, so they still boil the coffee and filter it through a sock just like everybody else around here does, which is kind of a nice touch, and it was actually really tasty. Check out this garden. As you get down towards the end of the garden, the newest, youngest plantings are on this end, and then herbs and spices, and then as you get a little bit farther up, that's where the veggies and the lettuces and the carrots and things like that are. Tomato plants, cucumbers, and you can take what you need. So what's also pretty cool about this whole setup is because it's a ranch, they have grandfathered water rights or water access to the freshwater river that's going right by, so they can take the water as they need it to irrigate the crops, water the animals, and provide fresh water to their guests that they also purify on site. So sweet, sweet stuff.
So I just picked some cilantro because I have some avocado, tomatoes, and onions. We're gonna make some guacamole tonight.
Yes.
I make it like every other night.
We don't mind. So we're chasing the sound of the cowbell. The majestic and elusive cow. But that's how the ranchers know where they are. So how cool is this? We are in a desert oasis just steps from the ranch where we parked our van and are hanging out for the next couple of days. We thought it'd be a night, maybe two. It's looking like it might be a week.
Yeah, so it's extreme contrast compared to where we've been at the beach. This is all fresh water, river trickling over these big boulders surrounded by palms and mountains, and it really is a oasis.
Yeah, so we're out here rock hopping these boulders. We're going to be hiking in these mountains behind us. So there's a lot to see and check out around here. So we have just left Rancho San Dionisio, not for good, just for the day. We are about to go on a day hike, and we are steps from their gate and steps from a trail that goes out at least 22 miles to a peak way out in the distance. So today we're going to do a short hike. Either tomorrow or the next day we're going to do a big one, and we're going to take you along and show you what we can find.
So today's hike is going to be about 2.5 miles out and back for a total of 4 to 5 miles. Nothing too strenuous. It's going to take us to some pools. We were playing around in the water yesterday, and it's not super cold, so I will definitely go in. Wiley probably won't, as per usual. And some waterfalls that are about 4 feet high. So let's go explore Sierradelalaguna. So we are in the Sierradelalaguna region, which is a reserve, and it's butted right up to this ranch. So they know that they have an ideal spot. It is beautiful here.
They are the last property on the road. The road essentially ends, and that's where their ranch is, and they are right next to this trail.
Trailhead, yeah.
How cool is that?
So Clarence, who is the owner of the ranch, gave us the directions. He said we're gonna cross 3 water crossings, and we're gonna see 5 big boulders in that last water crossing, and then we're almost there. So let's see if we can figure out these directions.
I know now you'll never change your mind for something that matters.
This looks like our first crossing.
You do not know what I have in mind.
Got the Karens to guide us. And this is crossing number 2. This water feels so good. So this is the 3rd water crossing. He said we have to go over 5 rocks to rock hop to get across. So that looks like 5 rocks. So the next set of directions was to go across the 5 rock hops water. Then 4 minutes later, you come to those 2 cairns on that rock. Then you turn right, step over some dead wood, and follow the path. I think we're where we need to be. And it looks like a cow path, and then they cleared it. I think we are where we are supposed to be.
So when you get to the end of the towpath and you run into the rocks and the running water, so far your best bet's to turn left, walk up the rocks, do a little rock scramble until you get to this.
No matter what I got off the ground for something that matters.
One of us has to get in. What is that thing? It is massive. Some tadpoles that are gonna hatch any day from the frog that I found. You can see them moving around in there. So it's a beautiful hike to get out here, and then once you get to the pools, we're the only ones here with some small waterfalls, beautiful picture, and it was less than 3 miles, about 2.5 miles to get out to the pool. So I think it'll be about a 5-mile round trip. We were just kind of having a lazy day today, so we left around noon to come out here, and then we'll mosey our way back to the ranch tonight. But we are really enjoying ourselves here, and it's nice to do something different than just the beach. I mean, the beach is beautiful, but it's always nice to be able to mix it up a little bit, get out into the mountains, get into some fresh water. So just really nice day today.
So we might have missed this one the first time we walked by, but now we found it. So this is what I'll call the second dipping pool. It's got a little waterfall, not too shabby. And this one is right after you cross the water for the third time. So pay attention after you cross the 5 stones. On your right, in very short order, there will be a little cow path that's a little rough. It's definitely not cleared yet, but who cares, because when you pop out, this is what you're seeing.
Oh yeah, this one's a little bit deeper than the other one. Some Wim Hof. Feels good. A little chilly. Going to check out the waterfall. Oh, that's cool. It is super refreshing, a little chilly, but totally worth it.
All right, so we found both water spots. Very cool, slightly chilly. I'm not a huge fan, so I took part from the sidelines. Dre got a little wet and had some fun in there. Yeah, not much to complain about on this hike. It was only basically a little over 2 miles to get there, and you got some sweet little natural pools. So this is a good sneak preview for our next hike, because our next hike is going to start from the same spot, continue on this trail that we're on right now, and go past the 2 pools that we enjoyed today. And if you go a little bit farther than the first pool that we were at, which is the furthest one from the trailhead, the trail starts to get pretty steep and pretty climby, and I think that's the expectation.
Felt a little bit like the Adirondacks.
Yep. And that means it's not going to be very easy.
It's gonna be steep.
It's going to be steep, lots of ups and downs. But that gave us kind of a free sample of what's to come, and we think we can handle it. There might be some heavy breathing, but whatever. We're on vacation. So the cool thing about this hiking trail is just about anywhere along it where it runs up next to this river, you can pop down on a tow path or a little pathway that somebody might have carved out at some point in time to come down, check out the water, explore, look for places to dip in the water, etc. Check this out.
We are just about done with our hike. I think it's gonna end up being about 5 miles. And it was a fantastic day. The sun is starting to set. We're very close to the ranch, and we gotta figure out what we're gonna do these next couple of days. We're really enjoying this area. It is beautiful. Hi. Hi. Good morning, guys. So today we are back on the trail that goes through the Sierra La Laguna reservoir, And today we're gonna do another hike. We are gonna go past the pools that we were in the other day, but where are we going, babe?
We are going on a 12-mile round trip hike to Poza de Pepe, which is a pool of pepes. And apparently it's a really sweet spot to hang out and possibly catch a swim right on the river with a bunch of big boulders, and
Maybe even be able to jump off into them, which is cool.
sounds like deep water. So we're gonna check that out.
And Clarence makes these awesome cookies, so we get these oatmeal raisin cookies in the morning. This place is magical.
Can't argue with that.
We've been calling this bird the squeaky toy bird because it sounds like the inside of a dog toy. Not sure what kind it is because we don't know our birds, but if you know, comment below. We've heard it all throughout Baja. We heard a rustle in the bushes. Just a cow. So one of the guys that showed up to the ranch is a tour guide, and he said that in the Sierras La Laguna is the only spot that there's wild boar in Baja. And when we did our hike yesterday, or 2 days ago, we were seeing where like the ground was dug out, which, you know, pigs and boars do. So maybe we'll see some, maybe not. And when he did his hike, there was 2 local dogs that were coming through the trail, and they're covered in blood because I guess they got in a tiff with the wild boar, which is not good.
All right, it's 10:16. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. We're exactly 2.5 miles in. We have passed both sets of pools that we enjoyed the other day, and this is where the trail starts to go up and down. And at the moment, it's looking like we got some up. We are going up.
Breathing hard.
There's some heavy breathing. Pace is significantly slower. Still pretty nice though. Beautiful day. And back down. I think we're gonna see a couple of these today.
Very loose, sandy.
And we are in it. We've got water down there, palm trees, frogs chirping away, montañas. Pretty beautiful.
You can hear that heavy breathing. That's definitely me. Wiley probably hasn't even broken a sweat yet.
A little bit of sweat.
I feel like I'm back in the Adirondacks. Walking in the water drainage and going straight up. Feels like home.
So, we're going up, and this is a particularly steep section. And it's a little bit loose sand, so you don't have the best traction in the world. So I'm huffing and puffing a little bit. Definitely out of shape, but feels good to get out here. We haven't done a ton of high energy exercise in Baja. We've been on a lot of beaches, let's be honest. So feels good to get out and see the sights and the views and get a little sweat on. About to head back down into this valley, but before we do, check out this view. Some more palms and rocks down in the bottom. And then this is where we came from, all the way down there.
We are still going up.
No matter how high up you hike and how steep and ups and downs and rocky and whatever, there is always some pupu de caca on the trail. Finally not going uphill, actually going downhill, and I think at the bottom of this downhill, when it meets the water, I should be somewhere near Posta de Pepe. So hopefully in just a few minutes I will see a clearing, which is where some tour guides have set up an area for camping and touring, and then from there I'm going to hang a right and I should find the Posta de Pepe. Just kidding. We're going up again, but I think we're 0.2 of a mile away according to Dre, so we should be seeing it soon. Now we're going downhill, and I think I can hear some water. I think we're getting close. This trail is Punisher. Beautiful, but it's not easy.
We are dropping down into the canyon, so I think we're getting pretty close. This was a butt kicker hike though. We did over 3,000 feet in elevation in less than 6 miles.
Can't see it, but I can definitely hear it. So I just ran into a local on the trail who lives a little bit further down the road than the ranch that we're currently staying at. And he's out here with his horses and I believe his family. He set up a little blockade across the trail, and as I was coming up to it, I was like, oh no, maybe somebody doesn't want us coming to visit anymore. But that's not the case. He was actually just trying to contain his horses and make sure they didn't head back into the canyon until tomorrow. So we just climbed under it, and we are almost there. Hi, how are you? There it is. Posta Pepe.
We're having a little BLT tortilla, but our tortillas are kind of a little old, so they're falling apart. But it's okay. That water was probably the coldest water I've ever been in, which is really disappointing because it looks so inviting.
Which means that is a hard pass for this guy. Me and cold water, we don't get along. I'm a wuss. You know what I'm saying?
I knew as soon as I jumped in that I wasn't even going to ask him to go in because based on my reaction, he wasn't going in.
She should have tried to bluff, but it was so cold she couldn't.
But I still went in 3 times. We are on our way out of the canyon, and this guy just puked about 5 times on the side of the trail. This might be a long remaining 6 miles for him.
Yeah.
He said his stomach wasn't really feeling good like last night while he was sleeping.
Okay, so we probably got a little over 4 miles to go. I feel like pupa de caca, but I still appreciate this scenery. These mountains feel like the Adirondacks. When you look around, you see nada. Not a building, not a light, not a telephone pole, nothing. And I like that.
We are just taking a little break. We got less than 4 miles left, and then we're out in about 1.5 miles until it mellows out with the steepness. So this guy is not feeling awesome, but he's getting through it. The coyotes are out. So we just got to the junction of the farthest pool that we went to a couple of days ago. So we should have like hour 15 minutes, maybe 1.5 hours, because we are tired. after that. It was a pretty awesome hike, but definitely challenging. So we're not even done yet. We still have 2.5 more miles, but man, it was beautiful. So we are almost back to the trailhead. We made it back before it got dark, which is nice. We do always have our headlamps just in case. This guy is pretty amazing.
Out of gas.
He hiked 6.6 miles after puking 5 times. So
I would have rather had a better couch.
and he was still ahead of me. So like that's annoying, but hopefully he feels better. So we are gonna end the vlog here.
Awesome hike. I'm shot. Thanks for coming along.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you.